This is going to take some getting used to. Not only does he not wear number 3 any longer, but he's got a uniform that is not that of the Knicks. John Starks overcoming a bad knee to play in this one. His Garden return tonight. 2-14, but forget that. This is about the good memories. This is about the return of John Starks to New York City, and that means getting down to business. Sometimes it led him to be a little kooky. All the time, it drove him, and probably was the reason why New York loved John Starks. His passion for the game that went with his unbreakable self-confidence even when he battled Superman. He was the ex-grocery packer, the CBA'er that made the big time. Maybe we all thought he was living our dream. In 8 years, John Starks was one of the builders of the Knicks as we now know them, a team whose popularity has never been higher. Along the way, he earned all-star accolades and was rewarded for being basketball's sixth man. But John wanted the team to succeed and offered constant reminders that he cherished that chance to win in New York. In a way, he'll always be a Knick, always number 3. But tonight he's number 9 and a Golden State Warrior.
This is going to be strange, no question about that. But, you know, in this league, things do happen, and you just have to deal with it. You know, I know I'm going to feel something once I hit the floor.
Starks is a Warrior because the Knicks wanted Latrell Sprewell, and it took him just seconds and a trip to the finals to claim his own spot in New York. Last year, as Sprewell did his playoff thing, Starks was in Celebrity Row, where he belongs at Madison Square Garden.
It was strange, but, you know, I tell people I was excited, you know, for this organization and for the fans of New York, because that was my main goal, is to bring a championship here to this organization, as well as for the city of New York, because they deserve it. And unfortunately, we wasn't able to do it while I was here. But to see them get back and see Patrick almost attain a championship, you know, I was excited about it.
Compare the two players. Sprewell is prone to big emotional outbursts. So is Starks. And in fact, the more you think about it, the two have many basketball traits in common. That has not gone unnoticed.
He's a very emotional, high-tense player, to say the least. You know, he's exciting. He gets up and down the court. He runs and dunks, and you know, he's a very solid shooter. He makes things happen, and so he's a player that I can relate to, you know, just because of the emotional aspect that he brings to the game.
Latrell Sprewell's return to Golden State this season was filled with all sorts of venomous emotion. P.J. Carlesimo took the high road, maybe because he has his own problems. The team is 2-14, and Starks has been frustrated. He and the coach have had their moments.
At times, you know, we had some problems, you know, but P.J. is the type of coach who forgets about it. You know what I mean? Once the game is over with and you're off the court, it's like it never happened. And that's the good quality that he has that I like about him. You know, you don't hold grudges. And as a coach, you just, as a player, I mean, you respect that. You know, but we still have some growing that we have to do together, and so he can understand me a little bit more, and I understand him a little bit more.
Good or bad, Starks leaves a legacy of drama behind him in New York. Pick your favorite. Remember when he beat the Phoenix Suns in the last second and once again showed he always had the guts for the big shot? There was that game when he broke his nose versus the Utah Jazz. Like a hockey player, he wore a mask and scored 24. The literal collisions with the Indiana Pacers, which built one of the best rivalries the Knicks have ever had. Then there was 1993. Many say Madison Square Garden's never been louder.
That's as Jordan-like, Marv, as any other player in the NBA can get.
Dunk, I think that was a statement telling people that I'm here. And against Horace Grant and Michael, that situation right there and the time of the game, I think what made that play so exciting. It established me as an up-and-coming player in this league. So that was kind of like my stamp.
Of course, no one's perfect. That was part of rooting for John Starks.
John Starks for three. Cannot get off. Anthony for Starks, shooting again. Here's Starks again. Curry continues to fire away. Knicks have stayed with the philosophy of going with John Starks, but I would think you reach a point, hey, you got to stop shooting.
It was tough for me. I think I put so much pressure on myself coming into that game. I really didn't sleep, you know, at all. I probably got about an hour's sleep that night before the game because, you know, I wanted it too bad, and I tried to go out there and put everything on my shoulder to make it happen, and I didn't go out there and play a relaxed ball game, and that's one regret that I have.
So tonight, all this is part of the story of John Starks moving on, knowing that not too deep inside is a kid who refuses to grow up, a kid who loved being a New York Knick every day, all the time, to the point where he would kiss the floor. And who knows, John may do that again tonight to remind us his passion for this place will never die.
I just had to see how I'm feeling at that particular time. You know, it was just something that I did because the fans, you know, for the fans, and let them know that we appreciate y'all for supporting us. And, you know, I just had to see how I feel at that time.
In Oakland, it was all about Latrell Sprewell returning to the scene of the crime. And all night, he showed deep anger and emotion for all that went wrong out there. As he reminded the fans, the Knicks won. Tonight, it's all about John Starks returning to the place where his NBA career was born. For 8 years, we watched him bounce to a different beat and play every game like it may be his last. It's a night for the memories of when he soared, of a love affair that must deal with the simple fact that now he's a Golden State Warrior.
Starks spent 8 seasons here, so of course a lot of friends accumulated over those 8 years. A lot more than just the points of the hustle, the type of person he was as he greeted his teammates. And earlier he talked about his emotions coming back to playing. Now, because last year's lockout, these two teams never played, that's why this is his first game back in an opponent's uniform. And
Starks has been on the injured list. I think just reactivated, so I don't think his fans are going to see the Stark that plays with reckless abandon. He's only shooting about 37% from the field, so has not had a good shooting performance this season, but I'm sure John has the emotion and the adrenaline will be flowing tonight.
yeah, he's had the knee problem all season long, and Golden State needs a win. They've dropped 9 in a row.
Oklahoma State. Let's have a warm welcome back for a longtime Knick, number 9, John Starks. At the other guard at 6'1" from Oklahoma State, number 10, Mookie Blaylock. At forward at 6'8" from Alabama, number 21, Jason Cat.
32% from the field. Speaking of poor shooting, this entire team, the Warriors, one of the worst in the league. Thus, as Mike always say, that's why they are the best rebounding team in the league.
You get a lot of offensive rebound. And is in the lower box with the offensive man with his back to the basket. Jamison dumps it in on an assist from Starks.
Yeah, Jamison, good position in it.
Finds Jamison. Quick shot for Jamison.
Jamison swishing them through, that time 10 feet away.
And he's now 4 of 5 from the field.
Dude, he's one-on-one.
Drives underneath, off the glass, and there's his first field goal and gets a nice cheer from the crowd.
Yeah, good creativity that time by John.
Quarter John Starks getting it going. Warriors down 11, the 16-footer. Yep.
It was a night reserved for John Starks' homecoming. He talked about it after the game.
Man, the memories that was going through my mind, you know, when they stood up and cheered for me, you know, nothing but fond memories of all the games that I had here in the Garden, and you know, all the memories that I have. So, no question, it's a happy time for me.
John, you're happy to have this one over? Did it make you sad that you're not here?
Well, it didn't make me sad. It didn't make me sad. Like I said, I had a year to kind of take it all in, and you know, coming back here, you know, kind of have goosebumps, you know, walking on the Garden floor once again. So it felt good out there. You know, it felt real good to see the fans stand up and show their appreciation.